Hello, everyone. This is Matthew Loomis with BuildYourOwnBlog.net. Today is my first Google Hangouts On Air broadcast, and I'm super excited about adding this awesome tool to my blogging repertoire to better help bloggers like you succeed in blogging to reach your full potential. Today I'll be interviewing a new blogger known as The Secret Slayer. You can find her blog at thesecretslayer.com, and Pearl is her pen name, and I'm really excited to be talking to her today. So, hi Pearl.
Hello, how are you today?
I'm excellent. How are you? Good?
Great. Thank you so much for having me.
Yeah, my pleasure. Pearl, why don't you start off by, sharing a little bit about yourself and your blog, what your blog is all about.
Okay, so to begin with, I come from kind of a rocky past that was filled with secrets, and I felt like the only freedom for me was to be able to share them. I write under a pen name because I haven't really confronted all of my family members just yet, and I want to keep my name, secret. And to begin with, my parents actually conceived me while my father was married to another woman. And in order for my father to stay married, my parents kept me a secret for 12 years. And they didn't tell anybody that he was my dad, and he remained married to his wife. We lived in the same neighborhood, so I knew he was my dad my entire life growing up, and I was always told to keep it a secret. I knew my cousins in the neighborhood, I knew my aunts in the neighborhood. But I always knew that for some reason I couldn't be a legitimate child to him like my brother and sister were. That all came to an end, by the way, when I was 12, and I spilled the beans on it because I was tired of not being legitimate for him. That didn't really work well for his marriage, and he was divorced after that. Some other parts of my past that were always kind of kept a secret, there's a lot of addiction and substance abuse in my family. My mother started taking quote-unquote diet pills in the 80s and became addicted to them, which is just a form of methamphetamine. And I endured a lot of physical violence when she was using that drug. There were also other members of my family who were dealing with substance abuse issues. My uncle, who was only 12 years older than me, actually overdosed and died when he was 29. I was a senior in high school. Oh, previously to that, I had my first son when I was 13. I was one of those at-risk children. Nowadays, we would probably label them with some kind of an emotional disturbance, but back then we were just bad kids. So I had my son, and I write about this a lot on my blog. My boyfriend at that time, I was 13 and he was 18. We did eventually marry. We were together for 19 years. And I always knew that education would be my freedom. And so I always made sure to work really hard in school because I wanted to escape not only poverty but also the abuse that I experienced in my family. And I just wanted out of that life. So I continued to go to school. I became a teacher. And every time that I tell this story to people, they're always intrigued by it, and I feel like it gives them strength for the things that they need to overcome in their life. And I realized after telling multiple people this story that I should put it into a book. So I started writing a memoir.
Right.
And that became overwhelming to me, the feelings that were coming up. So then I started blogging just as a way to kind of let those feelings out. And the support that I found online, especially in the recovery community, has just been amazing. So my background is really one of a person who's not really expected to succeed. Somebody who comes from a background of substance abuse and being a teen mother, we're not really expected to succeed. So that's why I decided to write, so that I can help others.
So have you always felt like an underdog in life?
Always. I've always felt like an underdog. I actually write in my blog a lot about being the fat kid and being made fun of for being the fat kid and, being the ugly kid. And I definitely feel like an underdog.
Yeah, I think a lot of us do, and I'm sure that that's why a lot of people are attracted to your blog and why they want to read what you have to say.
That's an interesting perspective.
Yeah. So when did you first get the notion to like, okay, I'm going to start writing about my life for everybody to read online?
So the day that this actually happened was July 4th of this year. So I guess that's about 5 or 6 weeks at this point. I believe that I published a few days after that, but July 4th was the day that I started writing a blog.
So how did that idea come to you? Were you just sitting on the couch and or what inspired you?
So I had this feeling, I had all of these feelings of writing and all of these emotions coming out, and because my circumstance is so unusual with being born as a love child and kept a secret, I felt like what better place to find other people like me than online. I've never met anybody else like me, growing up, so there's got to be people somewhere. And I thought if I could reach out online and I could find those other people, it would be more of a support for me.
And I'd say you've definitely started off doing that pretty well.
I think so. I've only found maybe 2 or 3 other people who were born of affairs, but even finding just 2 or 3 other people has been really comforting.
Now, do you have any counseling background?
I don't have counseling background. I'm actually trained as a special education teacher, but no counseling.
Okay. I was just curious. I don't think I've asked you that before.
No.
So, so you decided to start a blog, and tell the viewers, because right now, there's 5 folks that are checking us out right now. Tell us how you came about creating a blog, and how did that come about?
So I was brand new to this. I had no idea how to do this. So I think like anybody else, I just typed into Google, like, how do I build a blog? And when I did that, a lot of different resources popped up. And I went through them, and a lot of people wanted to sell me things, and some of it was just above my head, and I didn't really understand. It seemed like maybe I'd have some kind of technical background or something, and I didn't have any of that. So I looked through a whole bunch of them, and of course the reason that I'm here today is because I found your site, buildyourownblog.net, and
Hey.
I'm not getting paid for this. I want everybody to know this is really just out of my heart. So when I went through your steps and your videos, I found them to just be the most helpful, and you weren't ever asking for money, so I trusted you.
That's good. Trust is very important, yeah. I really appreciate that. So you went to the blog, you went to the website, you sat down, you started with step 1, and how quickly, I'm just curious, did you get it set up in 10 minutes, 20 minutes? How long did it take you?
Well, the actual process of setting it up took a little bit of time. I remember going, I used the hosting service that you had recommended. I went with iPage, yep. And I did that after a lot of research. I came down to that and one other, and I just lined up all the pros and cons. One of the things I liked about iPage was A, the price, and B, they have that one, I hope I'm even saying this right, that one button installation with WordPress. So yeah, right. I knew that I wouldn't be able to install it if I tried something more advanced than just pressing a button. And I know you had said that you liked WordPress, so I just trusted you and went with that. And I think it took like actually 24 or 48 hours or something for iPage to get me up and running. It takes them a little bit of time to verify everything. But as far as getting like my page set up and getting everything, just putting it together myself on the page, it maybe took me like maybe an hour just to get the basic stuff down, because WordPress makes it really easy.
Good, good. Mm-hmm. So when did you like post your first blog, like that day, or did it take a little time?
No, I posted my first blog the day that I got the right from iPage that it was out there. I know July 4th was the day that I signed up for it. And the first thing I wrote about was having independence from my secrets because it was Independence Day, which was just really phenomenal for me. Yeah, so I think that there are so many things out there now that make it easy for people who have no experience to be able to put their story out.
Absolutely. So how did you come up with the name The Secret Slayer? Like, you know, I think that's a pretty apt name for you. It's perfect. So how did you come up with that?
I just wrote brainstormed a bunch of things on the paper, and I wrote, that I was tired of secrets and that I was tired of the shame, and I guess I just kind of was working with alliteration in my brain, and I was just writing different words down everywhere, and somehow that kind of popped into my brain. And I talked to you before about kind of feeling like the universe is just leading me in the right direction, and I felt like if I opened my heart that the things that I needed would just come to me, and I kind of feel like that was one of them.
Awesome. So you obviously used iPage. You quickly found out that thesecretslayer.com was available.
Yes! That was exciting.
Yes. And so you got your domain. That's cool. So I'm sure some people are wondering, like me, what about your avatar? How did you come up with that picture?
First of all, I want to apologize if anybody's disappointed that that's not actually me. I searched for some free clip art, and I think that finding an avatar and designing my page was actually the most difficult part for me. I wanted everything to be perfect, and so I searched and searched and searched, and the funny part is I felt like I chose that picture out of frustration because I couldn't find a picture that I liked, and I thought sometimes perfection will hinder us from doing what we need to do because we want it to be perfect instead of just doing it. So when I found that picture, I thought, I'm done. I'm done with this whole finding a picture process, and I think it worked out okay.
I think so too. Yeah, I think it's pretty intriguing. Yeah, I was like, is this Pearl or So in a nutshell, if you had to boil down the purpose of thesecretslayer.com in like one or two sentences, what is the purpose of your blog?
To share my story to help others heal.
Okay. That's pretty, I like how it's, it's pretty laser focused. So, have you already found some people responding to your message? Can you tell us, like, any testimonies or people that have written you and said, that you've helped them?
Yeah, and generally, what I hear feedback a lot from other bloggers who are also blogging about recovery topics or, trying to overcome being an underdog in life. And what I hear mostly is that they're just really thankful for me sharing in such a transparent way. I know other people are working on doing the same thing because they want to help others. And I think that we all find it hard to be so open and so honest. And I know that some of my blogging friends will contact me. It's funny I say blogging friends when I've been doing this for 6 weeks, but it's true, I have blogging friends. And that's a big bonus for anybody who's considering blogging. I have made incredible friendships. And I think maybe at the end of this I'll tell you what blogs they are because I don't want to just shamelessly plug people, but I have a lot of really great friends online now. So, mostly they just say, like, thank you for giving us the courage to also do this. And I do have one person who has contacted me who was also, a secret and a product of an affair, and they just said, like, even if you don't ever have a lot of views, like, please keep doing this because it really helps me. And even just knowing that, yeah, even just knowing that I helped one person, and this is something that I really love to do. I have other bloggers that say, like, how do you stay organized, or how do you stay motivated, or how do you know what to write? And I feel like I love this so much right now that it's what I choose to do. Like, it's like a person who loves to play basketball goes out and plays basketball. I love to blog, and so I sit down and write. It's just what I really love.
I like that analogy. Yeah. Yeah. You like to shoot baskets, you go out and shoot baskets. You like to blog, you blog.
Yeah.
That's awesome, Pearl. So, you know, because you do you write about some pretty sensitive topics. Do you find that to be challenging at times, or is it easy for you?
Sometimes I really have to take some time after I write to just kind of decompress. You know, when I started writing the memoir, it became so overwhelming for me. There were days when I was just crying all day, and I wasn't aware that my feelings were that strong. I thought I was just putting a story on paper, and the feelings that came up were really surprising to me. I find the hardest part now is not infringing upon the privacy of my loved ones, because I want to write about everything, and I feel like I have to back up the bus a little bit because I would like for my boyfriend to still want to be with me. So every time that I struggle now, I find that the only way to really recover is to write. And yesterday I was talking to a blogger friend, and I was struggling at work, and I said, I just need to write. And I took a break from work, even though I shouldn't. Hopefully my boss won't see this. And I just wrote for a few minutes, and I didn't even publish it because it was something that I felt was private that my loved ones wouldn't appreciate. Because, you know, some of my loved ones know I'm here. I have to really respect the privacy of others. And, oh, that's bad to say, but I think that's the hardest part, is respecting the privacy of others. That's terrible.
So you find it tempting, you just want to say their name, or
yeah, I just want to say everything, you know? Like if there's a fight that I have at home with my boyfriend, I want to ask people, what do you think of that? And then I think, man, I should have made this really private where even he didn't know about it.
There you go. Do you have like a different name for your boyfriend? And
I just call him the boyfriend.
Okay, the boyfriend, there you go. So I know that you're also a mom, so, you know, how has blogging changed, you know, your life as far as your family goes? Because this kind of ties into another question I was going to ask you is, you know, as someone that works, because you're not a full-time blogger, you know, at least yet.
Not yet.
So, yeah, so you have a job,
Mm-hmm.
and you have a son. You're a mom. You have a son, and you're a very busy person. So, how do you fit blogging into your family life, into your work life, into your life in general?
So first I want to start by saying I have two sons. Only one is at home with me because the other one is 22. So he's on his own. I have a grandbaby. I put that out there in the blog too.
Okay.
So my younger son is 13, and he is still at home, thankfully. And
Yeah.
I find time by just saying to him, I think of this as like a therapy, and I've always been really open with my kids about them meeting their own needs and me meeting mine. And when I get overwhelmed and I feel the need to write, I just say, like, I'm going to step away for a few minutes. I need to write. I think it was my last blog. I don't think I published this yet. I think it comes out tomorrow. I'm not plugging. But no, I think it comes out tomorrow. Over the weekend, I was having actually a really stressful morning on Sunday, one of those weekend days. And I did just need to step away. I need to be alone. And I talk a lot about also always feeling like I was an extrovert. And then recognizing that now that I don't overeat and I don't use sex and love addiction to medicate, that I find I'm more of an introvert and I do need time by myself. So, yeah, I'm really open with my kids about, like, I need to step away now. I'll be back. So far they're understanding. I mean, let's be honest, my 13-year-old doesn't really want to hang out with his mother all that often.
Yeah, good point.
And as far as working goes, I do work in education. I had the benefit of being off for the first few weeks that I did this. So I know that I have gotten questions from other people like, how are you managing? How are you putting out so many blogs posts? And, you know, how are you commenting on every single person that writes to you? And the truth is that I had a lot of time. So this is my second week back to work, and I'm recognizing that I need to spend the weekend writing 3 posts and then publishing them Monday, Wednesday, Friday. And I do still spend about an hour a day in the evening answering, Facebook questions and commenting on Twitter and that kind of stuff. I feel like the stuff I'm saying, like commenting on Twitter, I'm not even sure if that's a thing, but I guess I tweet.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think it's and I've read before that what a lot of bloggers do is they take an hour out of their day and they spend that time always dedicated to working on their blog, or they spend the weekend usually.
Right. Of course, I spend more than an hour a day, but yeah, for someone like yourself who is starting out, has a day job or whatever, if you can, just devote an hour a day, it'll really pay off.
Yeah.
Excuse me. So is your 13-year-old son, is he basically supporting what you're doing, and mom's at the computer a lot now, and
I don't know, because I take a lot of the broadband and then he gets kind of annoyed. So I actually had to schedule with him today and say, like, I need you to not be online at 5 o'clock today because I need all the internet. So, but otherwise, yeah, I think he's supportive. I feel like, my current situation is really supportive. I've been in situations in the past where partners might get really jealous if you're spending too much time at a hobby or, a part-time job, but I'm not experiencing that now, and I hope it stays that way.
good. You said you're happy using iPage hosting, is that correct?
Absolutely.
Sweet. You said that you were checking out my website and you used the setup guide.
Mm-hmm.
Are there any blog posts that you also found helpful? Because I remember you said something about spent like a 3-day weekend just kind of like checking out all the information on my website.
Yeah.
Were there any? Which blog posts were the most helpful for you?
I think it was the one about, I'm thinking like step 6 about using social media. So I was nervous about all of this, and I felt really scared, and actually I'm still learning, and one of my blogger friends has gotten me, to Tumblr now, which feels really scary. But you talked on there about all different means of getting your message out. So I got my Secret Slayer Facebook account, my Secret Slayer Google Plus page, and my Twitter. So I think that one was the most helpful. And also you wrote another one, I can't remember the exact name of the post, but it was about how to make your headlines. And I think you said you should try and use questions that people can relate to. You should use the word "you" often.
Yeah.
And also giving people steps or tips about things. And I've had a lot of people say to me, like, how do you come up with those headlines? And I always refer back to you and say, like, you got to go check this guy out. He's the one who taught me.
Oh, I appreciate it. Yeah. You're talking about step 5 of the guide, which is release your inner blogger. Basically, you'll find everything, all the helpful basics you need to know, from the headline clear through to the final paragraph, on how to really make your blog articles pop, and stand out. Because that was something that really caught my attention, I think, with you, was your headlines grabbed me, and I was like, wow, this person has some writing ability, and so yeah, your headlines, I think, are why we're talking here today, because that's, I think, how it all started.
Wow. All right.
Yeah, I think I saw you on Twitter, maybe. So your link headlines were really good.
Thanks.
So, yeah. Well, we have 6 viewers here. So I would love to call you guys out and say hi. I'm still learning this tool, so.
Yeah, is there a way for me to see it? Because I don't know this tool either. Can I see who we have or no?
That's a good question, Pearl. I'm not sure.
All right.
So.
I don't know if it's some of my really steady followers. Who do we have?
Let me see here. Let me go to the control room.
Okay.
I see you in the control room.
Oh.
Did something change?
Oh, I clicked on control room to see what happens, but it just tells me that you're the boss.
Oh, okay. Let's see. Yeah, anyway, there's 5 viewers.
Okay. Anybody who follows me on Twitter, I am on Twitter right now, so if you want to go ahead and drop a little tweet there, we'll know it's you.
That's a good idea. Also, feel free to leave a comment on the event page or somewhere on the Build Your Own Blog Google Plus page, which I hope you'll like or follow at some point.
Yay.
Yes. Let's see. Let me move along here to tell me about your guest posts, because that's something that really helps bloggers a lot to get exposure, to get more people to come to your blog. I know you've already done a guest post, so can you tell us about that?
I did actually. I did a guest post at the website called Breaking the Cycles, which is a woman by the name of Lisa Fredrickson. She has quite a few books that she's authored about recovering from all types of addictions or abuse. And I wrote a piece about the struggles that I've had with food throughout my life.
Mm-hmm.
It was really a great experience for me to be able to put my work out there and reach a broader audience. And I know now that one of the techniques when you do a guest post is to put your very best work out there. And I wasn't really thinking about it, but I do feel like it's one of my best pieces where I really talk a lot about compulsive overeating and the addiction that I have to food.
Yeah, did you get a lot of comments on that?
I don't think I did actually, maybe 1 or 2.
Yeah. Well, I actually read that. I thought it was really good.
Oh, yay. I do have a link to it on my page as well.
What's that?
I have a link to it on the Secrets Layer if anybody's interested.
Yeah, you really should check it out. Seriously, it's good. Good stuff.
I think I have so many causes that I have a hard time like focusing just on one. Of course, education is definitely one, and I've been working in education for 9 years now. And addiction is definitely another, and food has definitely been my primary addiction.
Interesting. So how did you quickly, can you tell us how you overcame that?
I actually feel like I, hit what they call rock bottom, and I was actually really hurting myself with food. I was overeating to the point that I ended up with really sore throats for a long time, and I didn't know why. And I found out that it was actually acid reflux had caused abrasions all the way up to my sinus cavity. And I knew that I couldn't stop with the food on my own. And I felt like when you cry about food on a daily basis, it's not really healthy. So I ended up going through an outpatient program, and then I went to Overeaters Anonymous, which part of my food plan, which I write about in detail on that guest post, I never thought was possible, was to give up sugar. And it was 6 years ago that I gave up sugar.
Totally gave up sugar.
Refined sugar. So I still have natural sugar like pineapples and things like that, but I don't have any kind of, no white raw sugar, nothing, refined that you're used to seeing in a 5-pound bag.
Yeah. Right. No cookies, cakes, or donuts. Right?
Not for me. And actually, I guess ironically, I found out in April that I'm actually, I have an intolerance to gluten as well. So there's really not much for me out there at this point.
Wow, I'm sure you're helping people to realize that food can play a part in, their addictions or their happiness in life.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So did you was it a weight issue as well, or did you start working out, or?
Actually, I don't really remember a whole lot about working out or being worried about that. I was more worried about just taking care of myself as far as the quantity of food that was going in at first. But I have written recently about, I feel like you've read my whole site, because I have actually written recently about exercise and the impact that it has on my mental health and well-being.
Yeah.
And it's done amazing things for me. It's only been like 2 or 3 weeks since I started really exercising faithfully a few times a week, and I feel so much better that I plan on doing more research about how exercise can affect you emotionally and mentally.
I can't wait to read it because I need motivation myself.
I feel like most of us probably do. So I know right here, I just got a tweet, I hope that's right, from the Smiling Cocoon, and she says that she's on the Hangout, but she can't use any of the comment boxes, and she had to close the app to tweet. Oh no, we lost somebody to Twitter. Let me tell her to come back.
Yeah, come back. We have 4 viewers right now, and here's the good news too, is this is going to be available on my YouTube channel, so you know, if you missed it today, there's still going to be lots of opportunity to check out this interview. Pearl, let me ask you, so are you planning to do this? I mean, are you planning to use blogging at all with your, video at all with your blog?
I think I am, and you know, this is the first time I've done anything like this, and it's really fun, and I would like to do it more. I'm a teacher, so of course I like being the center of attention.
Right. Yeah. I think it's.
We have the methadone maze here. Yay! She just
good.
Or they, it's he and she. Sorry, chicks and sticks.
I've seen the methadone maze on Twitter. I know that she's a big supporter of yours.
She really is. She's one of my besties online. And I keep saying she because I feel like I'm always talking to chicks, but I guess I could be talking to sticks too.
Have you guys already talked about meeting in person at all?
No, not yet, but we did talk last night about some more guest posts. So
cool.
I'm looking forward to get some guest posts up on my site, and maybe one day the Methadone Maze will offer me a guest spot.
Yes, and speaking of Twitter, Pearl, what's your secret to using Twitter? Because that's what prompted me to talk to you today, because I was like, wait a second, she's got over 2,000 followers, and she's only been tweeting for a month, you know, and you're not buying followers.
No, I decided to do this all with integrity, so I won't buy likes or or followers or any of that stuff.
Yeah. So how are you mastering Twitter so quickly?
Well, first of all, I want to say that all of the social media stuff, I'm a grandma. How good could I be at this? So it made me all a little bit nervous.
Yeah.
And I knew Facebook from my personal life, so I felt pretty confident with that. But it's kind of like, you know, the older person who doesn't want to learn the cell phone because they're comfortable with their landline. I didn't want to learn new social media. But I went on Twitter and I was so confused that I actually had to look up, like, how to tweet, because I had no idea even how to use the buttons or anything.
Right.
And then I figured out really slowly about how to actually get a tweet out there. And then as far as finding followers, I just searched in the Twitter search in the upper right-hand corner. I think I searched like secrets, and then I searched recovery, and I searched family, and I searched child abuse. And I just, you know, followed the 2,000 people that I was allowed to follow at first. And, you know, maybe 20% of them followed me back. And then I saw this thing somebody else had posted about justunfollow.com. And I was like, that looks shady, but I'll check it out. So I checked it out, and I think at first you can find out, you can always find out for free who's following you and who's not following you, and inactive follows, which I didn't know anything about, but those are like bots or people that don't really go on anymore, and they're dead air, they're wasting your space. And with only 2,000, only being able to follow 2,000 people, I really felt like those were prime places that I needed to get live people into. So just unfollow, I used, I guess, for about 2 weeks, and I would just do whatever their free limit is. I think 50 a day they let you unfollow or something. I forget exactly how it works. They give you 50 a day that you can unfollow. And then one day, I believe it was July 28th, it was a Sunday, the 27th. I remember that because I was in Pittsburgh on a trip with a friend. And I saw the thing come up that say if you pay $10 a month, you can have unlimited information on who to unfollow and stuff. And I thought, well, what's 10 bucks? It's not like I have to sign a contract. If I waste 10 bucks, I waste 10 bucks. So I signed up for it, and they gave me all of the people who weren't following me, which was a lot. So I deleted them all, and I started with the keyword search on Just Unfollow, where you can go on and select a keyword. And then after I did that and friended people, sorry, Twitter, followed people. Then I went on and I did a, I should open it up because I can't remember, but it's, you can actually get the contacts that people who are in the same area, same topic, same niche as you. So I could put in other people on Twitter that had the following I thought might be interested in me, and then I could friend all or follow all of their people. So that's what I did, and no kidding, that day my views on thesecretslayer.com went up 40%. That day alone.
Awesome sauce. Wow.
It was great, 40%. So I figured, hey, the 10 bucks might be worth it. So now every single day I go on, I see who my fans are on Just Unfollow. So those are the people that are following me that I haven't followed back yet, and I always follow back. So I go and I click and I follow back all the people who follow me. And then, you know, if I still have space left that I can follow more people, I will generally follow people who are following people I follow, because I think we're all going to have the same kind of interests. And I do that. I do spend time on Twitter every day. And I'll be honest, it's because I love it. I have a lot of fun on Twitter. I have made great, great friends, like you said, the Methadone Maze. I also I follow some other people who I'm definitely going to be posting up on my website so that they can get follows as well.
Cool.
So,
wow, you're a networking master, I'm telling you.
Maybe on Twitter, we'll see. It's funny, like I said to you when we first talked the other day, that I have no scope for knowing like what's good and what's not good. So, you know, when you say like you're doing great, you have 2,000 followers in a month, I go like, really? Because some people have like 50,000 followers.
Right.
So.
Right, but doing that in the first month is really good. Really.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Absolutely. So you obviously are using Twitter the most. I think you said you're using a tool to help manage your social media. Can you tell people what that is?
Yes, I'm also using HootSuite. So HootSuite is helping me to, Twitter I go on because I love and I think it's a great time. And the other ones I like a little bit, but I haven't quite found my group yet on Facebook and on Google+. So yeah, I use HootSuite so that I can schedule my posts to go out for when I'm at work. So over the weekend I wrote, and then I scheduled for every 4 hours for my stuff to be published to Facebook and Google Plus and Twitter. And I'm thinking about scaling back on the Facebook and the Google Plus because it kind of just looks ridiculous when I have so many posts out on the same thing, but for Twitter it actually seems to work quite well.
Definitely works for your audience, yeah. That's awesome.
Yeah.
I use Hootsuite as well, and so I find it to be a very handy tool. And so, are you using Pinterest at all?
That's where I found the Methadone Maze, thankfully. Actually, they found me there. I haven't really quite mastered Pinterest yet. That's another tool that I guess it wouldn't be a tool in my personal life, but I spent a lot of time on there, you know, with designing rooms for my house and all these places I would like to travel to, and quite honestly, I haven't really figured out how to use it the right way for the blog.
Yeah, I'm still figuring Pinterest out too. You know, it's a place I should be because actually my audience is just slightly more female than male. So, you know, we're talking 60% females, and so I'm getting into it more and more because it can be a really helpful tool.
Yeah. I would like to anybody who does know how to use it effectively to please contact me and let me know.
Yeah, there you go. I do talk about my own social media experiences and my own tips that I've learned about Facebook, Google Plus, and Twitter on my step 6, which is marketing your blog. So if you can just go to my website, www.buildyourownblog.net, and click step 6, marketing your blog, you'll see a bunch of information, including on StumbleUpon, even some other ways to promote your blog, like using a press release or email, building an email list. So check out step 6.
I got excited about the email listing because I just started doing that this week.
Yeah, I was going to ask you about that.
Yeah, so I was just using, you know, what WordPress gave. I have to subscribe to my blog, put your email here, and that wasn't getting as much traffic, I guess, as I wanted it to. So I actually just subscribed to Aweber and started using that, and I was really excited because I have a new pop-up box to opt in, and that was a huge technological feat for me. I spent about 4 hours on Saturday making that happen, people, so when you see it, stop, appreciate the beauty of it, and maybe put your email address in there.
Yeah, be sure to subscribe to The Secret Slayer.
Oh my gosh, the shameless self-promotion. Sorry.
That's okay. Yeah, you can also subscribe to my newsletter.
I do. Actually, can I touch on that really quickly?
Yeah, sure.
One of the reasons that I had reached out to you and said, like, hey, I'm doing really well on this, and it's because of you, is because on your steps, you said, like, if you have a question, just email me. And I thought, like, this guy is never going to email me back, but heck, I'll try it. Whatever, it's not going to cost me anything. And you've always replied back to my emails, which I think is different than other sites that you would find. And God's honest truth for all of you watching, like, I've never paid this man a penny.
No. I appreciate that. I actually really enjoy interacting with my audience. I do reply to emails, and I'll even occasionally open up the instant message. So if you go to my website and in the bottom right corner it says Chat with Matt, that means
I didn't know you had that.
Yeah.
Is that what is that plugin?
That's a Olark. It's a tool called Olark. Very, very nice tool.
Nice.
Yeah, because people can, if you're not signed in, they can leave a message and it comes to you as an email.
Oh.
Right away. And actually, if you go into their dashboard, you can see like an analytics of who's on your website.
Wow.
Yeah. So it's a really cool tool. Now, I do prefer Google Analytics a little bit when it comes to accuracy, but Olark is a very nice chat tool.
I'm taking notes.
Yeah. So we've got about 15 more minutes, and still got 6 viewers.
Yay!
Let's see. Let me go down here and find another question.
Oh, and the methadone maze, they've tweeted me again, and they said they have the biggest smiles on their faces. I'm so glad you guys are here, and I apologize to Styx if it has been you that I've been talking to a lot. I guess because I'm a female, I just assume that the person I'm connecting with is female as well. If you can't write in the comment box right now, the methadone maze, I would love to know if it's really been chicks that I've been talking to all this time. Yeah.
That's fun.
Oh, I see somebody on here called Batu. Oh.
I'm new credit cards.
Oh, hey.
That was fun. I think we've been hacked.
I get to practice the eject.
That's great.
That's interesting.
Eject. Bye-bye.
That was fun. All right. So yeah, the methadone maze. I really hope that Chelsea Charmed is on with us. She is another person who has been a really big supporter. She has a website called The Life of a Recovering Addict. Well, it's actually at Life Experience and Inspiring Moments. But she's been really awesome. I hope she's here. Tweet me if you are.
It's great that you're giving some of your folks shout-outs. That's really great.
I love them.
Pearl, as we start to kind of wind down here, I want to get to some of the nitty-gritty of blogging as far as, the emotional challenges and just finding some inspiration here to close out. Can you tell us what has been your greatest obstacle starting out as a blogger? And how did you overcome that?
So my greatest obstacle as a blogger is overcoming numbers, because when I look at the analytics and I don't have the view count that I want, or I'm not getting the hits that I want, I feel like I'm a failure. I have posted a lot of tweets, and I've written about it as well on my blog, that I worry a lot about people liking me. And I think that that's kind of just common across the human spirit, that we want to be liked.
Oh, yeah.
If I open up my blog and I see that 12 people have viewed it today, I feel really sad and really depressed. And in the beginning, when I wasn't getting a lot, and I emailed you and I said, like, what can I do? I'm struggling. And you were like, you've been at this for 14 days. I think you should calm down. So for me, the biggest struggle has been really not worrying about the quantity and just really being more focused on my writing. And when I think of it now for what it is, which is therapy for me, it's a bonus that anybody reads it. Who wants to read my diary, basically? So, yeah, for me, the biggest thing to overcome has really just been numbers. And I'm a math teacher by trade, so numbers mean a lot to me, and I need to step away from that.
Wow, so you've got the left brain blogger going and the right brain as well. Creative and the numbers.
I hope so. We'll see if I can make it all work together.
There you go. Let's talk real quickly about. I wanted to ask you this. What are some of your favorite topics to write about?
I think lately it has been about feeling the need to be liked and pleasing other people. I was thinking it was as a mom, but as I wrote this weekend, I think it's more of an addict, that we really just want to please people all the time. And I wrote a little bit about this need to please others, and coming from a place of experiencing abuse as a child, I think that we have this idea that if we please others, they won't hurt us and that we can be safe. And I think that's a survival technique. However, that strategy is sometimes outlived. I don't need that strategy anymore, and I still use it, and I really just want for people to like me. So I find that is something that I like to write about a lot. I'm finding also that I'm writing a bit about.
Before you go on, are you concerned about with each post, each time you have to click publish? Are you worried that people are going to like it or not like it?
Always. I'm always worried about that. And, I try to remain true to what I have inside instead of trying to worry about the numbers and if I'm going to be successful at this. I really have a belief that the universe will take me where I need to go. I know not everybody is comfortable with that. As I said before, I feel like Dharma from Dharma and Greg. But what really drove me to really blog in the first place, which I didn't really talk about earlier, was this idea that I tell my students all the time that they can be whatever they want to be in the world if they just put their fear aside and if they just put themselves out there for the world and follow their heart. And I realized this summer that I've been a hypocrite because I've been wanting to write and I've been too afraid. So finally I found it within myself to open my heart and really embrace what I felt like the universe was calling me to do. So I feel like in recovery we learn to do the next right thing. And for me, as long as I do the next right thing, I feel like I'm going to be okay. And I feel like regardless of who looks at my blog or doesn't, I'm doing what the universe has asked me to do, which is to write.
That's pretty awesome approach. One thing that's kind of funny about blogging is the people that take a strong stand on something, or the people that are not afraid of a little controversy, interestingly, generally can attract more readers.
Yeah.
Instead of just trying to be liked all the time in every post. So.
Yeah, I actually have not gotten a lot of controversy, and I've been waiting for it. I keep writing things that I think people are going to find controversial, and then I just find people that are supportive, and I know the internet has rotten people, so I'm really waiting for them.
Yeah, you really do. I mean, I've noticed you really do take on some controversial topics, which I think is marvelous. And I think if you keep going, eventually those bad people or whatever.
They'll come?
Yes, I think so.
Okay, I'm waiting for you.
Right. It's not often you hear somebody say they want trolls.
Is that what they're called? Okay, now I know.
Well, I don't think you want to troll so much as I think you're open to disagreement with people that have a different view.
Yeah.
Yeah, jumping in and maybe challenging what your thoughts are. And
yeah, like I'm really interested to know, like, do people think that this wanting to be liked thing is a natural instinct we all have, or is it really a flaw? And I really hope that I can get some people to chime in on both sides.
Well, that sounds like your next blog post, maybe?
Yeah, it is. It definitely is. It's written.
Great. We'll be looking for that soon. Let's see. And, as we're closing out, let's go ahead and touch on monetization. Was that something that you wanted to do immediately? And, well, just start with that.
Yeah, so that was part of it, because I would like to be able to do this full time and not have to go into an office every day. So, when I started really reading about blogging and stuff, I definitely looked up some of the pro blogger stuff. And how to do that, how to make money. I signed up to be an Amazon affiliate, and I did the Google AdWords and Google AdSense and all that kind of stuff. So, I mean, in the future, that would be my plan. And part of me starts to question the authenticity of wanting to just write from my heart if I'm thinking about making money. But the truth of the matter is that I can help more people if I can do this all day long, and I can't do that unless I have the means to support myself. So, like I said earlier, I feel like the universe will give me, what's needed for me, and I'll follow what's right next.
So, have you taken any steps to monetize yet?
Yeah, I have Google AdSense running. I did make $3.27 for the month of July. And I don't believe I've made a penny yet on my Amazon affiliation, but I do have books up on my site if anybody's interested. They are all books that I have read that I think are fabulous and that have impacted my life positively in one way or another. I never put a book up there that hasn't been a huge influence on my life and my healing.
Exactly. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, and if anybody out there is interested in using Google AdSense, you can simply go to my website, and on step 7, make money blogging, you will find out how to use Google AdSense, how to set it up. I've created screenshots, and step by step, you can sign up and use Google AdSense yourself. So,
yay!
Yeah, so Pearl, as we are wrapping up, if somebody came to you and said, I'd really like to start a blog, I'm considering blogging, what would you tell them, or what advice would you say?
I would say do it, because it's been so great for me, and then I would direct them to you. And I actually, I have I have a post, and it's been a few weeks now. I mean, how many weeks could it be? Maybe 3. Since I did put it out there about like how I got started. And I did talk about you, and I talked about iPage, and I talked about WordPress, and all these wonderful things that got me started. So there.
It's already published?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't see that one yet.
You did? Oh, yeah, I put you in there because I tell everybody that that's what they need to do if they want to get started.
Oh, well, thank you for the link.
Yeah.
Okay, so you would tell them that, anything else, like not nuts and bolts, but like anything else, like what about fear? How do you overcome fear?
I overcame fear or overcome fear by staying true to myself and just knowing that as long as I'm true to myself, that everything's going to work out okay. So I think as long as you're true to yourself, you're going to be fine.
It's like I may be ejecting again here.
I think you should.
Okay, they're gone. So, well, Pearl, it's just been a real pleasure to talk to you today, and it's people like you, seriously, that motivate me and make me want to just keep learning more so that I can help other people, more people like you, not just set up a blog and start a blog, but to continue to take it to a successful level, however you define success. 6 months from now, a year from now, it's not just about setting up a blog. So I hope, if you haven't yet, I hope that you will. Hey.
Wow. Hi.
Eject.
That's fun. Wow, I could do this all day just on meeting these new people dropping in.
I just, maybe I should let them, I don't know, maybe they had something productive to contribute. I don't know.
Maybe they did. I was a little nervous about things that could happen.
Right. That's why I'm like ejecting, so.
Yeah.
But anyway, yeah, like I was saying before we were interrupted, I really appreciate you coming on with me today, because I think your story can really help a lot of people, and I know that more people are going to check out your story on my YouTube channel. And so this has just been a really great conversation, and thanks for being such a good friend to buildyourownblog.net.
Thank you so much for all of your support, and I also want to thank all the people who are sending me some tweets right now, like the Methadone Maze and the Smiling Cocoon at Joan Smiling on Twitter. I have a lot of friends out there, and I want to thank you all, and I think that we should maybe form some kind of a support group for us bloggers. So let's put that in our hats.
There you go. You could maybe do a Google Plus community or something.
Ooh, that would be really fun. Good idea.
Yeah. Great. Well, until next time, this is Matthew signing off. Be sure to, if you haven't yet, subscribe to Pearl's newsletter. Go to thesecretslayer.com and use her new Aweber opt-in.
Yeah. Don't let all that work go to vain.
Exactly. And be sure to subscribe to my newsletter as well at buildyourownblog.net. Well, Pearl, it's great talking to you.
Thank you. Nice talking to you.
All right. Well, see you around. That's it for now. Bye-bye.